Shove it, man!
Shove it, squad. Who misses Rinka King? Well, for fans of it, just a quick pre-warning. If your girl's in the room, send her out, because I'm about to make her sing. No, it's not Rinka King, but it's something similar. Man, I've missed saying that. For a year or more, I've been aware of an Indian-South Africa crossover wrestling show that predates Rinka King by 2 years. I was trying to get good quality footage of the show, but it doesn't seem possible, and I gave up. So 1080p this will not be. For now at least. If someone could hook me up with the good stuff, message me on Instagram. This is a 1 hour show and was broadcast on the Colours TV network, which is owned by Viacom. This is from 2009 and this is to Dhana Dan 100%. It's a South African wrestling promotion that joined up with Indian wrestling in a weird kind of crossover show. I think there should be enough wacky bizarre stuff to keep us entertained here. Also, we may just see some familiar faces from all over the place. Please let me know in the comments after watching this video if you would like to see a part 2. I'm going to do this Rinka King style with 2, possibly 3 episodes in each video. The show starts out with build-up showing what wrestling looks like in South Africa. Not good. Then it crosses over to India to show what their wrestling looks like. It's more traditional mud wrestling. Who remembers the 8-year-old obese Indian boy from Rinka King? Well, guess what? He's all grown up now and he owns his own mud wrestling school. I know that's not really relevant, but I know how much you all love the boy. I'd do anything to see him in a wrestling ring again. We get a dramatic build-up with a conversation between an Eric Bischoff manager type and an Indian manager type. The Indian wrestlers will all be sent to South Africa to wrestle in some sort of competition. We get to meet some of our Indian wrestling contingent. The first guy seems to be praying to a vending machine. He has been dumped by the side of a road without a penny to his name, and his Indian rupees do not work in the vending machine. This is Sangram Singh and he seems a bit down on his luck. The next guy has also been dumped at the side of a road, but he's happy to hitchhike in a lorry. This is Sandhu Praj. Meanwhile, in some sort of nightclub, a bouncer is standing around trying to look hard when the next wrestler, Jack Attack, stands to walk next to him, and he's happy because his arms are bigger. These 3 guys eventually meet up at the side of another road. Who's the booker of this crap? He's not looking after his guys. The South African Eric Bischoff pulls up and he gets respected by Sangram Singh. Sandhu Praj does not show any respect and he gets a lecture for it. We arrive at the arena now. They have a pretty high budget. It's not quite on the Rinka King level, but it's still fairly decent. I feel like the announcer lady is the same one from Rinka King who had bigger hoop earrings each week. The bigger the hoop, the bigger the whore. The crowd are all really excited and full of energy as you would expect. It's good to see. I wonder if they'll get attacked in this show. We're introduced to our commentary team, but they seem to be too busy flirting when the camera arrives on them. The man then asks the woman what her name is, and she doesn't get to answer. We now meet the owner of the federation, a very peculiar looking man called Mark Bill. His entrance is na 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 goodbye for some reason. Some of the wrestlers come out now. The first guy is Blacksmith, so I guess we're going back to the mid-90s WWE here with wrestlers who play job gimmicks. Now we meet Tornado, who seems to be the main character of the promotion, or at least he gets the loudest cheer. He's also the champion. He's another strange looking man, isn't he? So this will be a match, Tornado versus Blacksmith for the title. Blacksmith starts out working on his arm, but Tornado drags him down to the ground. Tornado puts on a half Boston, but Blacksmith makes the ropes. The constant camera cuts are making me feel sick already. Tornado starts booting him around the ring and he knocks him down a few times. Tornado's now working on the Blacksmith's leg and he wraps it around the pole. Tornado looks like a crossover between Dusty and Dustin Rhodes. The Blacksmith is now back in it and he hits a scoop slam and a top rope clothesline. He goes to the well again, but surprisingly it's not too much as he hits a top rope dropkick. He goes straight up top for a 3rd time to hit a splash, which Tornado kicks out of. He tries a 4th time, yeah, it was about time he got cut off. Tornado hits a top rope suplex, which is in slow motion for some reason. Tornado stacks him on the opposite corner and snaps off a Frankensteiner. Tornado finishes him off with a moonsault, which they're calling the Tornado Salt. Very imaginative. The Indian wrestlers are shown at ringside looking annoyed and intimidated. If the Indian wrestlers from Rinka King are anything to go by, they certainly couldn't do half of what we've just seen in the ring. Blacksmith randomly attacks Tornado. He continues attacking him around the outside of the ring whilst the commentary team are in shock like someone has just died. Blacksmith has a mic and says he wants a rematch. The peculiar owner called Mark Bill says okay, but it will be a tables and chair match on the next show. These two look like brothers, one is fat and one is not. Tornado is busted open, didn't expect to see that on the show. The Indian Eric Bischoff is now in the ring. He speaks in English, which greatly helps me out. The commentary team say he's a really famous man. I've never seen him before. He tells the crowd he's got an important announcement and screams shut up. Now he starts talking in Hindi, but they're in Johannesburg, so surely the crowd can't understand what he's saying. That doesn't make sense. He's basically making an announcement that the Indian wrestlers want to challenge the African wrestlers. Mark Bill says no, but when he gets asked if he's scared, he changes his mind and says he wants some Indian curry right now. He starts a curry chant with the crowd. This angers the Indian Eric Bischoff as it should do, and he calls him a weasel. They look like they're about to come to blows until the announcer lady breaks it up. The crowd are really excited at this point. They're in slow motion too for some reason. So far the best part of the show is the announcer chick. She's really happy and full of energy. Devon Shooter is the next man out, representing South Africa. He seems to be a cruiserweight wrestler with a bad haircut. He'll be taking on the Indian Terminator, Jack Attack. Devon Shooter starts the match working on Jack's arm. These camera angles are ridiculous. It feels like 3 different matches are happening at once. Jack Attack fights back with punches and a scoop slam. Then he hits an arm drag and a back body drop. It's really basic stuff from the Indian guys. Devon floors him with a knockout punch and then he keeps battering him on the floor. Jack Attack wakes up and hits a suplex. He seems to be firing up for something but almost gets rolled up. Devon then hits him with a drop kick and a front suplex. Then he goes high risk with a top rope famouser and this one's over. Devon carries on the attack after the match and starts another curry chant. This would not be acceptable in England. Mark Beale has the mic again and is bragging about his team winning the first match. Next up is Jason Steele, who seems to be a big deal. He sounds like someone who's famous, but he's not. He did spend some time wrestling in the US Indies, but that seems to be about it. Wait a minute. It can't be. What the hell is happening? Is that really him? I need to get him off my mind. Someone smack me one. He's stealing a milkshake. It can't be him, can it? Another Indian wrestler has arrived in a yellow mini. In England, it was a tradition to punch someone every time you saw a yellow mini. So all of you, please take this time to smack yourselves in the gut. Okay, I thought I'd somehow skip the Jason Steele match that was happening, but I haven't because the challenger is here now. It's Sandhu Praj. They started the match with an intense shoving match. Jason Steele wins and he hits a powerful slam. He hits shoulders in the corner before Sandhu turns it around with a clothesline. Jason gives him the job treatment and no-sells it and hits a power slam. Mark Beale is also interfering on the outside just to make it worse. I don't think this guy needs any help. Jason Steele stamps on him, then he picks him up and hits a power bomb. So it's not exactly going well for the Indian guys, is it? He launches him out the ring like a piece of trash. Sandhu walks away hanging his head in shame and disappointment and tries to leave, but Jason Steele and the Weasel jump him on the ramp. One of the Indian guys picks up a steel chair with dramatic music playing, and then the show randomly ends. Okay, I have no idea what to think of the first show, but the second episode looks like it features a lot of wacky characters, so let's keep on going. We come back to episode 2 with the exciting climax with the steel chair wielding man. Will he smack Jason with the steel and make him squeal? The Weasel said if he wants to fight, he's going to make his next fight a real nightmare, because he will face Nightmare. Not the best line I've ever heard. Who's writing this shit? We get a training video now with some random Indian wrestler. For some reason there are reverse swastikas all over the wall. That's another one for you Hindi fans. What does that mean? Oh my god. The boy is back. The boy is back. He does something to Eric Bischoff's trousers. I can't tell if this is Barood. Someone please tell me, it's killing me. I guess we'll have to wait to see him in the ring. Somewhere in a pub, some old people are watching a football match. A new wrestler, Badash Khan, walks in and makes fun of them. None of these guys look different. They all have the same gimmick. Talking about standout gimmicks, I'm pretty sure the Indian Leatherman from Ring King is here too. This video is going to feature a lot of questions for you Hindi fans. Welcome back guys, I haven't heard from many of you in a while, you've been missed. We now have a match. This is Kilimanjaro. Now this guy, he's like the monster of the Federation. For those of you who don't know how the Dhana Dan ends, please don't spoil it for everyone else. He'll be taking on Indian Fighter. Oh, for God's sake, they have a huge introduction package. Oh, it's the boy again. Is this him or not? Someone please tell me. I'm pulling my feathers out over this one. He certainly eats a lot of food like the boy would. Okay, it's time for our questions to be answered. Wait, he's dressed as Doink the Clown. This isn't going to work for me. What a rip. We seem to have a bit of a mismatch here. So he's going by Ganya Zoka, the 8-year-old obese Indian clown. I mean, he's certainly very small and fat, so maybe it is him. This was 2 years before Ring King. Kilimanjaro doesn't seem impressed by his antics. He gets battered in the corner and begs for mercy. Kilimanjaro puts him on the top rope with ease and then slams him off. The boy has a smiley face drawn on his belly. Everyone's laughing at him. Then Kilimanjaro points to the smiley face on his stomach and punches him square in the gut. This is great. Kilimanjaro slams him and drops his elbow. This is complete humiliation as Kilimanjaro hits a headbutt to the nutsack. Then he hits the Shattered Dreams. I think that's enough, the boy has nothing left down there, he's not even hit puberty yet for God's sake. Kilimanjaro hits 3 big clotheslines. The crowd aren't laughing anymore and there's a bit of an awkward silence. Kilimanjaro hits the snake eyes into the big boot and he pins him for the 3 by crouching on him. He continues the attack after hitting him with a red hammer. This is the best match on the show so far, I really enjoyed it. The Weasel's back in the ring now, complaining that the Indian wrestlers aren't giving him enough competition, and he starts another curry chant. A man is shown continuously staring from the crowd. He doesn't look hard. We get another video package now. It's about a man who is a former janitor, continuing the real life job characters. He's used to being lectured about not scrubbing the toilets well enough. One day he walked out on his cleaning job and decided to be a wrestler. That's motivation for some of you guys stuck in a dead end job. Just do it. Eric Bischoff throws the staring man in the crowd a can of Coke, which I guess means he's going to be the next Indian wrestler to fight. Or maybe not. It's that rematch now for the world title from the first episode. It's the Blacksmith versus the champion Dirty Rhodes. I'm sorry about the downgrade in quality here. It's a nightmare to get the footage of Dhana Dan. It's why I haven't started this series sooner. It's just for this match and we'll go back to the previous quality, I promise, so I'll be brief as I can because I can barely see this match. It's a shame because I was looking forward to seeing what a hardcore match looks like in South Africa. They start out with arm drags with Dirty Rhodes getting the better of Blacksmith. This guy is obviously a trained wrestler and he knows what he's doing. He hits a drop kick and then pulls the Blacksmith into the ring pole, nutsack first. We get hardcore now as a chair gets introduced into the match. There's a cheese grate in the ring also, along with a barbed wire bat which Blacksmith uses. He follows it by hitting Dirty Rhodes with the steel chair several times. The crowd are not happy with what they're seeing here. The cheese grater is now used, but Tornado no-sells it and starts using the bat. He tries to follow it up with a splash from the top but misses. The Blacksmith brings a table in and hits a DDT on the flat table. Now he's ready to use the table properly and he sets it up. He tries to use the chair again but Tornado drop kicks it in his face. Spinebuster through the table by Tornado and that'll be it. Can we please get rid of this Blacksmith guy now? I have no idea what he did to be in the main event twice, and I thought this was supposed to be India versus South Africa. I think he's the owner's son or something, it's probably nepotism, but he sucks. In the back, Bischoff tells the Leatherman and his friend that they need to do better and win their matches. The friend seems a bit dodgy and makes a phone call to someone. Back to better quality now, you'll be pleased to know. It's another match. Anzai, who seems to be a patriotic South African man. He'll be taking on a very strange man who rolls his shorts up into a nappy. Why does he keep doing this? I'm so confused. This is Danger Anna. What, so he's a girl then? Anna's a girl's name, innit? He seems to have a dancing gimmick and is extremely over with the audience. Anzai mocks his dance. Danger starts out with a dodgy looking rock bottom. Anzai calls for a timeout. It's really weird that the African wrestlers are heels in an African promotion. Anzai takes the piss out of him as he takes more time on the outside. Anzai eventually makes it back in, snapping Danger's arm across the ropes. Mark Beal, the Weasel, continues the cheating game from the outside. Anzai carries on working his arm with a pretty nice takedown. He just gets a 2 count, but it looks like India are about to lose again here. Suddenly Danger's fighting back with some sort of wacky armbar, and then he also hits a monkey flip from the corner, which of course is in 3 times slow motion with 3 different camera angles. His offense doesn't last for long and Anzai shuts him down with a flatliner. It's game over now as he hits a big time rock bottom, which certainly looked better than the other one. So India lose again. Anzai grabs the mic and whatever he said was bad enough to get bleeped out. They keep showing that guy in the crowd, so he seems to be a potential hero here. He grabs his bag and leaves, so I guess it's game on. A wrestler called Nightmare is out now. Okay, is he supposed to be the monster of the promotion? Or maybe there's 2, I guess there could be 2 monsters. He takes on Sangran Singh. The entrance is so overly dramatic and it's in slow motion. These camera angles are giving me a headache. Someone throw a brick at the cameraman. Nightmare seems to be similar to Viscera, but with face paint. He starts out with a few shove downs and Singh can't take the bigger man down. Suddenly Singh does take him down with a hip toss. Then Singh gets Nightmare on his shoulders as big dramatic music plays. Again. Oh god, why is this so overly edited? It kind of takes away from the experience. Singh slams him and makes the cover, but it's just a 2. He quickly follows it with a belly to belly, but Nightmare keeps getting up. The match goes outside now when Nightmare bites Singh's hand. They try to come back into the ring, but Nightmare gets cut off on the apron and slammed back into the ring. He just can't keep him down though. A little later, Nightmare hits a leg drop. Shades of Viscera's ass here. Then he picks him up and hits a sky high, again in slow motion. And it's over, another loss for the Indian guys. So the Indian wrestlers have lost all of their matches, so just like the Rinka King ones, they're mostly bad and lacking in offense. Singh is carried away on a stretcher, but Nightmare keeps attacking him. The cliffhanger that we all go out on is a backstage attack. It looks like someone's about to get shanked. I don't know, the video quality sucked. That's where we draw the line for today. Wow, it's certainly not boring, I just wish I had it in full quality. This should appeal to fans of the Attitude Era and people with ADHD. The matches are all short because they're all so overly produced. It feels like all the walking and boring stuff's cut out. It feels like move after move after move. The cuts and camera angles are a bit jaunting and hard to get used to say the least. They keep cutting to the commentary desk every so often, and the running gag is that the man doesn't know the woman's name. It's hilarious. I did enjoy what I saw here though, certainly stuff to come back for. After only 2 episodes, I already feel invested in Tornado, Kilimanjaro, Nightmare, and of course, is that the boy or not? Even if it's not him, I feel like we already have a character we can get behind, he's great. Someone out there, if you have the footage or a torrent of the Dhana Dan or something, please contact me on Instagram. You will have a whole squad of people ready to bat you with bricks if you ever run into any trouble. And of course, Hindi fans, please get busy in the comments section because I feel I have a lot more questions than answers after watching this. Also, Shove It Squad, let me know if you'd like to see a part 2. Ideally, I'd like to have it in better quality before I make a second part, but after dealing with all these episodes of Heat and Jacked lately, I feel like all my videos are in low quality. And I'm not talking about me, I'm talking about the video quality. Shut up or I'll smack you one.